Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Food Junkie on my way to work. Things y'all keep me company. Hopefully, I keep you guys slightly entertained. We're live to talk about anybody and everybody, anything and everything. You know how we do it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You saw the title. You see the title: Misplaced Anger and Social Unrest. What are we talking about? Y'all know what we're talking about. What's been going on for the past couple of days? Minnesota, New York City, across the country, across the world. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at the Breakfast Club today, watching the interview between DJ Envy and Steven Jackson, former NBA player who knew George Floyd. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Welcome, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just on my way to work, you know how I do it. And there was a couple things that was misconstrued on YouTube. They said that they were brothers, Stephen and George. They weren't brothers. They knew each other. They were friends. They were close friends, and they happened to look alike. People thought they were brothers. People said they looked like twins. So that is something that I want to clear up right away, because I don't want people thinking that, you know what I'm saying, he had a famous brother. No, he had a famous friend. We all have a famous friend somewhere, you know. But watching the interview on the Breakfast Club, hey Sephora, hey Donna Hill, baby, allegedly, how you doing, sweetheart? Tam, good morning, baby, how you doing? Everyone that's in the chat room, y'all, welcome, welcome, welcome. And basically, they pretty much grew up kind of similar. Stephen said that George played two sports, football and basketball. The difference between the two men was that Stephen had opportunities that George didn't have. They both lived the street life, was not. Stephen said that George was 5 years older than him, you know what I'm saying? And when they met, it was like, oh, damn, we do look alike. Who's your daddy? Type of thing, you know what I'm saying? They became close, was not. Stephen was close with George's mother. When George, Stephen said when George was locked up for whatever thing he did previously and what was going on, he actually paid Stephen actually paid George's mom's rent twice during that period of time of him being locked up. Was not. It was a really good interview with that, and kind of gave me a little bit more insight of who George was. George moved to Minneapolis, was not, to become a trucker for work, whatever the case may be, was not, you know what I'm saying? So that's why he was there. I guess he's from Texas, I guess he is. I'm not quite sure. Houston, I think it is. Stephen said. That was kind of unclear. But the civil unrest part and the misplaced anger and the civil unrest part comes from people rioting and people burning down buildings, burning down businesses and things like that in certain neighborhoods, normally the low and poor neighborhoods. My question is, oh, yeah, no problem. You know, sometimes people get the wrong information, well, it's not, and you want to make sure that, you know, the right stuff is out there. And not saying that anyone normally put out the wrong information, whatever. It's just that, you know, we on here as YouTube content creators and YouTube subscribers, people who talk on YouTube, we hear a piece of information was that, and we don't do research on it, and we just throw stuff out there. And that's how wrong stories get out there. That's how people get misinformed. That's how tellings of situations happen. And I just want to be as clear as possible, especially when this topic is this serious. I just want it to be, sorry, I can't see that, baby. Hey, Tessie, baby, how you doing? Aztec from the House of Stars. Hi, baby, how are you doing as well? Y'all know I can't really read all these long names when I be driving. I can't be saying all that stuff. But yeah, when the subject is kind of serious, well, it's not, you want to be as clear and as concise as possible. You want to make sure that you are giving out the right information and make sure the right information is out there, well, it's not. But like I said, Stephen said that him and George was pretty much the same person, was not. It's just that, you know, like we all are pretty much the same people. Depends on what avenues we choose to take. If we turn left instead of turning right, things like that. And I guess that for Stephen, he said that, you know, the things that George experienced was pretty much similar to what he's experienced in life as well. It's just that he got opportunities that George didn't receive, and he took the opportunities and ran with them, was not. And George didn't receive those opportunities. That's why they ended up, you know, saying, two different paths in life. But the civil unrest part is that, like I was saying, people burning down buildings, burning down stuff like that. And if you look at the riot footage in Minneapolis, it's not us who's doing a lot of the rioting. It is people who don't look like us doing a lot of other rioting and protesting what's not. And I'm thinking, whatever, what is this about? Is this misplaced anger? Is people in social unrest, what's not? And when we thinking that, okay, let me go loot somewhere, let me go burn down a building, let me go, be violent, that's going to change something else. Then all we're doing is perpetuating the negative stereotypes that people have of us anyway. Like, they can do that. They can, act a fool, cut up, burn cars, push over cars, whatnot. We see them do it all the time, doing the Stanley Cups, doing all these sporting events they do it in, what's not. But once we do it, it becomes crazy. It becomes, that's just their nature. If you think about what's not, there's more riots and that type of behavior coming from people who don't look like us, but under the guise of, oh yeah, let me support and defend and protest this injustice that has happened to them. But my thing is, like I said yesterday during my drive to work, where's the outrage before it happens, before we see it happen? Because we know it's happening. We know it's happening. It's happening right now as I speak. Some person in power is taking advantage of and misusing and possibly killing someone not in power. We know it's happening. It's happening. What are we doing about it besides burning down auto zones and rioting and picketing and looting Targets and things of that nature, Walmarts and stuff like that? What are we doing besides that? Are we going out there and vote and make sure that we put people in office who have the power and ability to change laws, legislation? Or are we putting people in power where it's not because we like how they look, because we like what they say for the moment? Are we looking at people's track record? Are we looking at what people have done previously, how they're responding, how they respond to things that goes down, be it before they come to office was not? Because look at your president. We knew that he was not from the very beginning. We knew that he wasn't, hey y'all, how y'all doing? A lot of stuff happening. What's up, babies? How y'all doing? What's up the hood table? Miss Queen, how y'all doing? Everyone else who came in. What are we doing, besides that? Hey, Jada Nora, baby, what's up? What are we doing before this incident happened? I know we all are upset. We all, want to talk about it. We all want to discuss it. We all want to get on panels and come up with questions and stuff like that. But what solutions have you come up with? What solutions have you done? What have you done to make sure that this, I won't say stop, because it's not going to stop. I'm a logical person, so it's not going to stop in its entirety with that, but become less frequent. Are we making sure that we are putting laws into place, or putting people in places where laws can be actually changed? Are we putting our voices out there and legislation was not saying this is not right, so therefore let's change this law? All this whole thing of, are we protesting the right way? Are we speaking the right way? Are we acting the right way? Are we just running around with this misplaced anger? Because it doesn't make sense to burn down an auto zone or burn down, Chucky, these officers have to talk. But the problem is that, the thing is that when you have inbred racism in the police department, it doesn't matter what person, like if you have just say the psychologist psychiatrist, if they are inbred racism and the whole structure of the police department is people in power right there are going to be innately racism. That's how you see, and we know people who have black police officers. Not saying all of them, because I'm not saying this is not a blanket statement that covers everyone in its totality. It's just a statement in general. But we know that black officers are on force. We know that they see a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we are not privy to. But with that, how many of them are speaking out on it, or not speaking out on it? Be it fear of the whole blue wall coming down on them, whatever. They're all a band of brothers, so therefore they think that if they want to support people who have their back in danger, things of that nature, we have all those things coming to play with it. But if we create an environment to where say that we have your back as the people who pay your salary, who you are pointing out to protect, are we here for you? Are we going to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, if something bad happens to you, is that we're going to protest for you as well? So like I said, and not everyone is bad, not everyone is good. There are bad and good in everyone, because I know I'm not perfect, and I have my moments of wanting to hurt people and wanting to do things that's illegal as well. Thank God I have the sense of thought and a sense of good in who I am, that I have, you know what I'm saying, not gonna do that. I have no faith in the legal system. I won't say that, Tessie, but I understand why someone would say that. I do definitely understand why someone would say that was not. But I think that I believe everything is energy, but like the fact that I know that the legal system is not here for me, particularly, while I know that the police department and the prison system was meant for me to fail, I know that. That's logical. I know that was not. So what I'm going to do, what I do, how I live my life is I learn everything I can actually learn, so I can circumvent those loopholes that people don't know. I circumvent those things that is not for me. Like I said, if y'all knew my history, I just look like this, but if y'all knew my history, I changed because I would have been dead or in jail based on how I acted previously. Constantly fighting, constantly cussing out people, constantly just being an aggressive person. And by nature, I would have been 6 feet under or in jail until I realized that I need to change how I approach things. That's why I say that no one can make me do anything I don't want to do. No one can change my temperature or change my energy unless I allow them to. I have to learn to love and control myself. I have to learn to control and understand who I am, what the rules are, what the laws are, so I can work within those laws, within those rules. Hey Deanna, baby, how you doing, sweetheart? You know, and Deanna, I corrected something that you said on your live, baby. Stephen Jackson and George Floyd weren't brothers. They just were good friends, and they knew each other, and they just looked alike. They weren't actually brothers. They were just friends, really, really close friends. And he called them brother, but they weren't like biological brothers. You know how we do it in the community. Was not how I'm saying that's my brother, you know what I'm saying, that's my sister type of thing. Yeah, they weren't biological brothers. Two different sets of parents. They just looked alike. People thought they were twins. But yeah, I had to know who I was. I had to know how I could work within the laws so that I can live my best life. And I don't blame, although I know that there are systems in place to deter me from living my best life, it's my choice to not fall within those systems and try to help other people not fall within those systems, let them know what their rights are, what the laws are, what you can and can't do. And it's not even things like, people say, well I heard a lot of people say, I have sons, whatever, I just want them to come home, which is a logical thing, which is very logical and very understandable. But at the same time, you can speak to people in authority without being disrespectful. You can ask questions, even if someone's being rude to you or not. You can ask them questions without them. Well, if they're gonna be offended, they're gonna be offended regardless. They're gonna be offended you not asking questions. They're gonna be offended by you asking questions. If they have this racist mentality, if they have this mentality where they think that they are in control and no one can question it, was not. Even if you don't do anything, as we saw George didn't, resist, but because he was a big black man, he was in trouble. You know what I'm saying? He automatically was a threat. You know what I'm saying? So by being quiet, by being silent, and just complying sometimes is just not enough. Some people want to show that they have power. Some people want to show that they are in control, and they would do anything and go anywhere to show that. So not asking questions, not putting forth your rights, not putting forth, letting them know that you know the law, that you know what you're doing, sometimes does not help. You can ask a question, just like when I think I was pulled over probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe, the last time I was pulled over. First thing I asked was, why am I being pulled over? Can you tell me why I'm being pulled over was not? It's how you ask questions, it's how you speak to people, it's how you communicate with people was not that deter, you know what I'm saying, if something's being disrespectful. Like, if you're just an ass, you're just an ass. If you're just going to be rude, you're just going to be rude. But I don't have to allow how you are responding and how you are reacting to talk about or be something that I am presenting myself with. I am someone who's going to always be respectful until I'm not. I'm going to always understand where I stay, where I lie. Looking at my surroundings was not saying that, okay, if I need to get away quickly, how can I get away quickly? And one thing that Jenny Nurse said, yesterday I think it was, you want to be able to protect yourself if you have to. And that you said that you wanted to go, if you're still here, you said that you wanted to learn how to shoot guns. I know how to shoot guns. I've been trained with my jobs. I've been trained in self-defense. I've been trained in protection techniques was not to protect myself from harm, to shoot guns. I'm a pretty good shot. You know, under stressful situations was not detaining techniques and things of that nature. So I'm pretty well equipped to protect myself if it comes to fisticuffs or hand-to-hand combat was not, or even weaponry was not. I've also been trained using sticks, using swords as well. But my thing is, that's not always feasible logic. Sometimes you just need to learn how to defuse the situation before the situation gets to that point. By talking, by calming yourself down, by lowering your tone. It's just how you speak to people was not that also helps you survive a situation. It's not always just complying, putting your head down, putting your head in the sand, and doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's just that always you have to be able to logically think through a situation. And you have to think not just in the moment, but like 3 steps ahead as well. Like if someone's coming at you and you know that someone is being aggressive toward you and they have a position of authority toward you, it's not for you to match that energy. Because regardless of the case of it is, you're not going to win that. Because they can say, oh, he was resisting, was not, so therefore I had to use force. We know that with us, it's basically it's a kill order, was not. That's how I look at it, whatever. When the police officer comes to me, was not, and I see that you are aggressive, was not, to me it's a kill order. So what am I going to do? Am I going to match that aggression, which I can? Or am I going to, you know what I'm saying, not sulk and not bow down to you, but let you know and understand was not. I understand this is your job, but I'm still asking the question, which is within my right. You don't have to answer the question, just like I don't have to speak to you at all without my lawyer present in front of me was not. I don't have to go to you. You have to tell me why I'm going with you. You can't just say, oh, because I said so. No, that's not how it works. That's not the law. The law is, if I ask you a question and you want me to go and you're trying to detain me, I have the right to ask you, why am I being detained? And it's the law that you have to tell me why you are detaining me, why you are stopping me, why you are hindering me from leaving. And they say, well, I don't see ID. I don't have to show you my ID. I just have to prove that I have ID on my person, especially here in Georgia. It's just you understanding and knowing the law as it is. Now, I can't read that, I'll read it when I stop driving. But yeah, it's just that knowing the laws, and then we can't have this misplaced anger. And we have to be careful about who is protesting with that, because the thing is, all these riots and protesting that people are doing, burning down business establishments was not. What is it that is done? And Deanna, what you said was something powerful in yours when you talked to your sister earlier today. You said that they're burning down, they're going to attack black establishments. How do we know that this isn't what they're doing? These white protesters, under the guise of protesting for this injustice that was just done in Minneapolis, they're targeting black establishments. We gotta be very careful with that when we start joining these crowds, whatever, and not actually looking at what's going on and what's being done, why it's being done. Look at the why behind it was. Now, why weren't you there when all these other things happening? And the thing is, why are you only protesting in the city that you're living in? If it's really like the injustices that we have been seeing over the past several years, you know, it's the injustices that we've been seeing over the past several years, we're still putting people in office that have track records of these type of behaviors, that's supporting this type of legislation, that keeps on holding our heads down. They keep on putting our head underwater, but yet we're still supporting these people and thinking, oh, well, I'm not going to go vote because it doesn't mean anything. It does mean something if you go out there and vote. If you don't speak and have a voice, you don't have a complaint either. If you don't go out there and let your voice be heard, you don't have the right to speak on something that's injustice. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, I could be right. It is what it is for me. We need to really be very careful and very mindful that when we are talking about these situations and these things, we are talking about it in a logical, respectful way, not just to us as a people, but to us as human beings, because what's happening is affecting everyone, not just black people, but people of color, people of impoverished means, people who are not considered, or people who are considered below what people are considering, you know what I'm saying, human beings. We need to make sure that we are talking and speaking on this in a way that is being heard, and not every sign of power is screaming and yelling and burning things down and raising our voices or whatever. It's solidarity. It is coming together and having one voice and having the same thing. Is to squash injustice. It's not to make it. My brother is someone gay, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, impoverished. That's my brother. Or me to feel like I've done something poignant is for me to make sure that everyone I do and have the same fault. What is protect. We don't know testing footage on the right. Far more white people out there acting a fool, cutting up, and doing crimes. Buffering. Am I still buffering, y'all? Am I still buffering? You know, than anyone else that we have. And we need to make sure that we're just not throwing out problems and throwing out things that is not tangible. You know, we need to make sure that we are talking about solutions that are actually tangible, something that we can actually do, and we can do from our homes, do during this quarantine, do after the quarantine. We need to make sure that we're talking about things and putting measures in place where we are actually being able to function as a society and not have civil unrest and not have misplaced anger or hopes or depressions type symptoms of things of that nature. That's what we need to be doing. That's what we need to be constantly working on, constantly talking about, just constantly striving for. We're not trying, like, I'm not trying to say I have all the answers. I don't. I know what I do. I know what's best for me. I know what works for me. I know how it worked for me for 45 years so thus far. You know what I'm saying? And me being an aggressive person, knowing that about myself was not knowing how to handle myself, knowing how to handle things that I need to handle, making sure that I am putting myself up and setting myself up for success, making sure that I don't put myself in positions where I, you know what I'm saying, have to fight and defend myself physically all the time. You know what I'm saying? Being able to speak logically, speak critically, think critically was not, maneuver myself in situations was not where I don't have to always use brute force or exude brute force, because sometimes it's not what I do or what you do, it's how people interpret what you're doing, how you're positioning yourself, how you're standing, how you're speaking, how you are communicating with them was not. That's what we need to start working on and worried about was not. Sometimes it's a misunderstanding, and we all have them, we all go through them, we all understand that, but at the same time, how you recover from that misunderstanding, how you recover from that initial point of whoa, rah, you know what I'm saying? We have to make sure that we are able to decipher and look at those things and be on one accord with our environment, being able to know when to do things and why to do things and how to do things that will help you be able to go home to your family, to be able to go home to your, what's this right here? Okay. Be able to go home, you know, and survive a situation was not that may be tense. I just want us to be very careful, guys, that when we disseminate information, when we process information, you know what I'm saying, we're taking in to help us be our best selves. We are taking in the judges put in place to apply justice. Yes, well, some are tested, yes. Like I said, if you are a racist, your job and your positioning doesn't change the fact that you're a racist. If that is something that you are ingrained in, we have seen a lot of it. And people, when people start losing their jobs, start losing their status, start losing things with that, that's what is going to help us out, or help it out, or help the society out. I do believe that yes, there are some racist people in power. We know that. That's not something that is uncommon. But what we need to start doing is start weeding them out. When we start realizing and seeing that was not, calling them out on it. We have to be able to call them out. Was not, as they say their name. Say their name. Call them out. Don't sit up there and just let someone get away with it, and we talk about it and joke about it and talk about it behind closed doors. No, go through the measures to make sure that we're calling them out. Judges, cops, doctors, lawyers. You know, the Ku Klux Klan, how that started was, those would be neighbors of these people, of ethnic people. They cover their faces to hide from society. And when they cover their faces was not, they're covering their faces because they don't want you to know that they are police officers, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're engineers, they're, nurses. That's why people cover their face. That's why those people hide in the dark. That's why people don't show themselves, because they want to continue to have these racist ideologies, but not be able to be called out on it. And when you call them out on it, was that like old girl from New York, racist as hell. A black man don't be telling me what to do. And now that she lost her job, oh my God, my life is ruined. They ruined my life. No, baby, your ideology, your mentality caused you to lose things. And when people start losing things like that, people are going to start putting more things out there, not to see. Oh, wow, I can't, well, maybe I should think about changing this and that and third. Because not everyone is up for that. Not everyone is down for that. Yeah, there's a huge connection of it. Exactly. Yes, that's a huge connection of them. And the majority of them are in power. You think that every senator, just because they say that they're not racist, they're not racist? No, they're racist as hell. Every time someone does something that doesn't look right, that don't speak on it was not. When you're silent, you're complicit to the actions. When you're silent, you are not. You are part of the problem. If you're not really part of the solution, you really are part of the problem, and that just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I don't apologize for it. That's why I say, when I say something or do something, it is what it is. I don't need your apology. Don't apologize for me after you had a racist rant toward me. Don't apologize for having a racist thought. That's your thought. I can respect you more if I know who you are and how to deal with you. Like I said, I had a really good friend that was a skinhead. Yeah, now I'm gonna be late for work in a second. I'm gonna get off here in a second. I had a really good friend that was a skinhead, and I actually defended him because people were attacking him just because he was a skinhead, not knowing that, the history of skinhead. The history of something was not. You will always fear it. You will always put it down. Now, he wasn't racist. He wasn't a racist skinhead. He was a skinhead. He believed in that ideology was not the original ideology of what skinheads start off as, whatever. But people like when I was that's a whole other story. But wherever I was, people were like pissing on him. People were like trying to beat him up and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, you can't. They will, Tessie. But like they was treating him really horrible, and I'm like, well, so until I actually took him under my wing, whatever, I'm like, y'all leave this man alone. Y'all do not leave him alone. Y'all mess with him, y'all don't have to mess with me, type of thing. And then it died down. But the point is, like, I don't mind someone telling me who they are. And just because someone say that they are a skinhead, don't mean that I'm going to automatically, go after them and treat them like crap. No, that's not fair. I will not do that. Was not. I figure out who you are, what you're about, and how you conduct yourself. And then if you do some stuff that I don't like, you're going to know about it. It is what it is. But you guys, this is a little rant I have on my way to work today. Hope y'all was entertained. Hope y'all got a little bit of knowledge. Not much, a little bit of knowledge, because I don't know much, just a little bit. But yeah, like I always say, you guys, love yourself. It starts with self-love. Love yourself. Love someone else. Respect yourself. And definitely respect someone else. Do not allow everything that you hear or experience to go into your entire being in its totality. Taking things that only help you be your best self. Y'all have a great day. Hey, Tex, baby, how you doing? Mwah. And I will talk to y'all later. I think I'm gonna go live tonight when I get off work, because of how late it is. But yeah, I want you guys to really have self-awareness. Be aware of yourself and your surroundings, and just truly do love and respect yourself. Because once you do that, it'll be easy for you to love and respect everyone else. It's your boy Food Junkie, y'all. Until next time, I'm out. Peace. Love you.